Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Bullfrogs is a little card game of playing cards and having bullfrogs kind of combat on the board in order to score the most victory points. It's really an abstract game. These bullfrogs fighting over these things, I guess it works okay. That they're almost human-like with these sticks and swords and stuff. None of that really matters. It's really just an area control game, and you're trying to get on these lily pads and score the most points. Very abstract. Now, the game works best with 2. I think it's a little bit more tactical, a little more strategic. With 4, it's a little more chaotic because a lot's going to change before it comes back to your turn. Things may score before you have time to react, so you're not going to be able to react to things as much. So in that regards, I think it's stronger as a 2, maybe a 3, but I don't think I'd play this much as a 4-player game. Very abstract as you're putting these frogs out, moving around, and you're really just hoping to score the most amount of points. Why you're doing something is abstractly implemented in the game, so the thematic nature of it's not going to be very strong. Now, I think I'm in the minority of this game where I really didn't care for it that much. It's going to be a purge for me. It just felt real combative, almost like you do this, and I got to combat it, kind of undo it the best that I can in order to stay on top of what you're doing and scoring the points. Meh, it's okay. It's had a few reprints, so obviously I'm in the minority. If you're wanting a strong 2-player, kind of abstract, but you're direct confrontation at each other, this may be one that you would like to look at, and that is Bullfrogs. Here's Bullfrogs by Thunderworks, and there's a few editions of this. This is the Thunderworks edition. Rulebook, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. What we got here? We have some meeples. Now, these are going to be like frog meeples in the game. There's going to be 2 sizes. There's going to be the bullfrog, which has this little thing like this, and then your normal frogs that you're put out. These are really cute. Could have been cubes. Nice upgrade. You can have them in different colors. And then you're going to have the different cards that you'll be utilizing during the game. You can see they have different, like lilies, they just have different spots on them. And then victory points down here. Nothing too out of the ordinary that you're going to see. They have a nice feel to them. They're a little thin, but you can see that they've held up quite well. Here's the rule book for the game. It kind of looks like a Silverline box from those from Final Fantasy Fantasy Flight games. You can see there's components, no pictures, here's setup, and then a little bit of a play sequence. This is all the game right here. Then they break down the game with pictures. You got plenty of examples through here. These are all examples through here. Very, very nice as you're going through it. Not a long read. A whole gameplay example, final scoring game in. And on the back is part of that gameplay example. So, very good rule book. Even though the theme is off, I don't feel like the theme rolls with the game. The rule book really is a one-time read. You'll be up and playing. You have your log. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview. On your turn, you're going to play a card down. So let's say you have some cards out here. So let's just say you have some cards out here. So on your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to play a card. Let's play one over here. And then what's going to happen is you can play your frogs or your bullfrog on any card, but not on the one you just played. So it has to be in the column or the row. So if I had played this card this turn, I could play anywhere here or anywhere here, but not here. So you kind of put that down. And the card that you play will tell you how many actions you have. So you can kind of do that, where you can maybe play a card there, etc. So that's going to be your main action, which is called deploy. The second action you can do is called sabotage. And that's where you're going to be able to move from one card to an adjacent card. So maybe I can use an action to move that, etc. Maybe put another one out there. So that's my 4 actions. I put 3 out and I moved 1. So that could be something that I could do. And the next guy, he might come out, play a card down here, and then he would have the same 3 actions on this one where he could put things out in the row. But let's say he put all 3 here, just for argument's sake. Once these are cleared off, let's take all this away. So that's kind of what you'll do with your actions on most of your turns. But once this is full, there's 4 spots on here, you add up the strength of the card. And what you're going to see here is each frog is going to be worth 1 strength, and each bullfrog is going to be worth 2. So you're going to see that blue has more strength, 2, 4, 5 to his 1. So then what's going to happen is, let's say you had some cards that were adjacent like this. The loser will be able to move his frogs to adjacent locations. And then if there was nowhere for this guy to go, he would come off. And so with this, if the bullfrog ever comes off, then they're out of the game for good. Then the player who scored this, who won with the strength, will get this card in the scoring pile, and they will score this many victory points at the end of the game. When all of the Lily cards have been played, the game will end. Whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. Who should play this game? Bullfrogs. Let's stick with this with 2 players. People who might want a little abstract game with direct confrontation. You really need to kind of pound your opponent down a little bit in this one to score the most points. Very abstract. If you like frogs and likes the artwork of frogs, I suppose that will play into your corner a little bit. For me, it wasn't for our taste. It will be a Purge.